let's come together. So what do you guys remember about our past couple of lessons? We've been talking about fiction and nonfiction. Can someone tell me one thing they remember about fiction? What fiction is?
It's not real.
It's not real. What about nonfiction?
It's pretty real.
It's pretty real?
Yeah.
All right. Did you have something to add?
And there's index, and we have our text features.
Yes, our nonfiction text features from our last lesson. That was,
The headings.
yes, and that's going to be very important today. So what we're doing is we're going to play a little game to test what you guys remember about our lessons. So who's familiar with the game Jeopardy? Yeah? You guys heard of it before? Can someone tell me just what, something that they know about Jeopardy?
They ask you questions, and they give you money if you get them right.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. The only problem is I don't have any money for you guys. I'm a poor teacher. But this is going to help you guys for our test. And so,
Are there daily doubles?
but there is not in this game, I'm sorry. Oh wait, no. There's a final Jeopardy question, so we'll see if we get to that. But since Amanda's not too familiar with the game, it looks like, we're going to go over what it kind of looks like to play the game, alright? So this is kind of their main sign for the game called Jeopardy, just so you guys can get like a visual of it. And this is what their board looks like in the game. I'm sorry it's a little blurry. But this is going to be very similar to what we're going to be playing. There's going to be actually 5 different categories that you guys are going to get to choose from about fiction and nonfiction, and then points for each one that you guys answer, alright?
Okay.
And then you guys are going to be the contestants. And I'm sorry the picture is so small to think it's going to be so small, but that's what the contestants look like. And those are what you guys are going to be playing today.
We have screens.
What? You guys don't have screens, but you guys have these lovely hands that you can raise one you want to answer, alright?
Okay.
Alright. Go ahead and close these. Oh my gosh, what is that? What opened? Alright, well, it's not what we wanted. But that is what we wanted. Don't look at the answers, guys. Don't look. Okay, got it. Alright. So let's just do a practice one to start to see what it's going to look like. So, as you can see, it's very similar to how the other board looked, or the picture that we looked at, like the real Jeopardy game. So we have 5 different sections of questions, and each one is worth oh so many points. And so you guys are going to be playing against each other to earn the points, and there might be a prize at the end. I don't know. We'll see. So let's do a practice one together. Let's go ahead and do classroom reads. All right. So it says. So for classroom reads, what it's going to look like is that it's going to describe a book. And based on the description of the book, I want you guys to be able to tell me whether you think it's fiction or nonfiction. So let's go ahead and look at the first one. The Planets by Peter Starling. This book describes the planets in our solar system. Description and pictures of each planet are included. So who can tell me, do you think it's fiction or nonfiction? Yes, Amanda.
Nonfiction.
Nonfiction, so let's see. Yes, you're right, it's nonfiction. Good job. Alright. So we'll do a practice one in each section so you guys see what it's going to look like, alright? So the next section is what's on the cover. So here is a picture of a book. And I want you guys to think, based on what you see on the cover, do you think it's going to be fiction or nonfiction? Yes, Sheldon.
Nonfiction.
Why nonfiction?
Because dragons aren't real, and that looks like a dragon.
Now let's remember the difference between fiction and nonfiction. What do you think fiction is?
Fake story.
So if fiction is a fake story, then what would that make nonfiction?
A real story.
And if you said dragons are fake, what would that make that?
A fiction story.
A fiction story. So what's your final
Oh,
answer?
whoops. Fiction.
That's fine. So what would be your answer?
Fiction.
All right. And you're correct. Good job, guys. All right.
Yeah, excellent.
And then in the in these next 3 sections, basically you're going to be looking for the vocabulary word that it's describing. So based on the answer, what is the vocabulary word? It might be some of the text features features that we looked at.
Student
So-
vocabulary for 500.
What is that?
She's helping us
Oh.
with this section.
Well, I don't think, well, we're not gonna go through the next three because it should make a lot of sense that it's gonna give you the definition and then you can figure out what the word is, okay? We've done a couple of lessons, so it shouldn't be too difficult. So let's try one for real, make sure that we have the process. So, Dana, would you like to choose?
Vocabulary for 500.
Vocabulary for 500, all right.
It's gonna be too hard.
Hold on. Why is it not showing?
What is setting?
All right, well, this was our practice. This is another good practice. So the answer was the background as time and place of the action of a story, and the answer was setting. All right, now let's try one for real. All right, Steven, would you like to choose again?
Nonfiction for 500.
Nonfiction for 500. I like it. It's bold. All right, so this section is the dictionary for the book. It defines each important word. Yes, Shelby was first.
Glossary?
The
What is
glossary. That is correct. So that's 500 points for Shelby. Good job. All right. So Shelby, would you like to pick the next one?
Let's do what's on the cover for 500.
All right. So World War Z. I don't know how many of you guys have heard of that book, but do you think it's real or not? Real or not real? I said Daniel's hand first.
Fiction.
Fiction. Let's take a look. Very good.
Boom.
All right, Daniel, would you like to answer or pick the next one?
Fiction for 500.
Fiction for 500. All right. Okay. I don't know. It's supposed
I
to
would never
go the
guess
other
that.
way. It's not showing it. All right. Well, that's okay, guys, because this happens sometimes. Can someone tell me what they think realistic fiction is, as we kind of talked about in class? Yes, Shelby.
It's a fake story, but it's based off of things that really did happen.
There you go. Thank you. So even when the game doesn't work, we still know that we understand what we've been learning. So that's very important. And you get points for that. So, yay for Shelby. All right, Shelby, would you like to pick the next one?
Nonfiction for 300.
All right. So important words that the author wanted you to notice in an informational text. And there's like one or two answers that'll work for this because they're very similar. Yes, Shelby?
Bolded words.
Let's take a look. Bolded words. There you go. Good job, Shelby. You guys did very well in the lessons, and I'm glad that you guys remember the vocabulary words.
Cheating. I just paid attention last time.
All right. All right. Would you like to pick one more?
Let's do classroom meets for 500.
All right. It does the wrong one every time. Doesn't matter what I press. Okay. So this one doesn't really work because it's based on a story, so you can't really answer the question. But we already discussed it, so I know you guys understand what fiction is. But maybe the 500 questions weren't the best choice.
Let's just do Final Jeopardy.
Let's just do Final Jeopardy. Maybe that one will work. No, maybe it won't. Well, it's worth a
There's no
shot.
consistency.
All right, I know, I don't, it's just another one I read. All right, well, I want to thank you guys for participating in the game. And for our next unit, which will be on fantasy stories, we might do another game just like this. So you want to really make sure you're paying attention to the vocabulary and things we did in class. All right, that's the end of the lesson.